Danke für die Einladung. Ich bin sehr gerne hier. Sie hören, ich bin Holländer. Ich mache das teilweise jetzt später im Englisch, wenn das okay ist, weil ich glaube, dass Teil von dieser Änderung ist, dass nicht nur die Marketing-Abteilung, ja genau, die Zeit ist ja ganz wichtig, dass nicht nur die Marketing sich tatsächlich ändert, weil die ändert sich durch diese Digitalisierung. So, kurz, ne, ich bin schon vorgestellt, ja, Holländer, Generalist und so weiter, aber genau, wir bringen es ein bisschen anders, wir bauen es ein bisschen anders und ich möchte gern heute mal diese Vision nach euch bringen. Und damit fängt es an, dass ich es mal anders mache. Das bedeutet, ich werde auf euch zugehen, Frage stellen, so bitte sei vorbereitet, du hast jetzt noch die Chance zu gehen. Es ist intensiv und es ist interaktiv. So, I'll go talk in English, which is much better than my German, by the way. For me, the digital transformation brings us one key thing. It will help make marketing more effective. It will help marketing to be in the business of getting business for the business. My colleagues just before me, they talked about it. And I think in the past, again, I don't know how many marketing people we have in the room specifically, but how many have heard, you know, half of the money in marketing is spent and we don't know what the effect is, right? You know it, right? The biggest issue is we don't know which half, right? I mean, they say it in the Netherlands, I guess they say it in Germany as well, right? But again, I believe marketing needs to be in the business of getting business for the business. Otherwise, we're just going to be insignificant very, very soon. You're going to be looked at. Okay, you know, you do the giveaways, you do nice exhibitions, but you know what? You're not important. And I want to be in the boardroom. We need to be in the boardroom. But to do that, you need to talk the language of the business. So I want to go through that a little bit, because if you want to go be business, get business, you need to talk the language. And to understand that language, you need to understand what is important in the boardroom. So I'm going to have a couple of things over here, you know, these kind of things. I mean, I think a lot of you guys know them, but within our company, these are extremely important. These are measured on a day-to-day basis. Again, we just heard what an MQL is. I mean, funnel inflow. What is that in your opinion? What is that? What does it mean? Du kannst in Deutsch antworten. Das ist mehr. Okay, expansion of the funnel. Okay. And and I'm going to mix my languages. Why is the conversion of a raw lead to an MQL so important, Marcus? Ja, aber not only that, you can also start determining where is my investment the most value, right? If you have a high conversion on exhibition leads versus a low conversion of digital leads, well, you might have some green bananas, right? So it doesn't mean they're bad, they're just too early, or we need to work them before they actually... So that's a very important metric to move forward. Again, average value per opportunity. That helps us to determine how much we need to hit our targets. If you don't know the average value, you don't know what you need, right? ROI, again, return of investment. Close rate, who knows what close rate is? Please.
So the amount of inbound business that we are actually closing into euro amount.
All right, yeah, so the calculation we use is close won divided by close won, close lost, and close cancelled. So if that's 33%, that means that if I put $1 million in the funnel, I know on average that $330,000 or euros is going to close into business. That's my close rate. Again, very important. Why do I want to know that? Because if I know how much I put in, the cost and the investment, I know exactly what I'm going to get out of it. So you have all the metrics. And that's the beauty of digitalization, right? You have not only the basics, you also have the systems. You can have the systems to support that. Salesforce.com, HubSpot, Hootsuite, whatever you want to use, you have the systems to make it all work. Oh, I always love this one. Well, not two. So bookings and billings, I mean, that's typically, again, I don't know the German words for that, but typically that's a big one in all companies, right? What are our bookings, what are our billings? Because that basically tells us what our revenue is going to be, right? So for us, we think exactly the same. We say, okay, well, how much funnel do we need to get to our bookings to be able to be successful? So, final thing. Who knows what let is? Let. I've asked no ladies yet, so let's ask a lady. Do you know what let is? Really not? You were on you were there 2 months ago, right? You didn't pay attention. Let. So let is everything which goes out of the funnel. So you have funnel inflow, what you just talked about, what goes in. But let is what goes out. And why do you want to know that? If you know that 100 million is going out, but you need a funnel of 400 to be successful, then your inflow at least needs to be 100, right? Because otherwise you're going to have an issue. Maybe not tomorrow, but you're going to have an issue next year. I mean, I think we're all industry companies here. Typically, what, 9 to 18 months, maybe even longer before a project actually comes into fruition. So again, let is extremely important. Because if you let too much, you bleed too much, you need to compensate that with more inflow. So again, if I know what let is, I as a marketing organization can be a very close partner to the sales organization and say, okay guys, let's do something to make sure that we compensate for that. So let rate. And again, if you want to do this, you need to start thinking backwards. Think as the business does. So what we do, we say, all right, this is our revenue target for 2018 for Belden in Europe. Okay, like everybody, right? You have run rate business, you have contracts, it comes, you don't have to do anything with it, right? And on the other hand, we call that project business, business which comes in because you find new projects, new businesses. So you need to determine that, because run rate you typically, again, for this perspective, don't focus on. On the project business is where you, from a marketing point of view, have a huge impact. If you have a close rate of 33.3%, I just said, that means you need to have 600 million funnel, right? Because if you have 600 million funnel, you on average close 33%, that will get you 200 million of project business, which will help you to get to your revenue target. Then you need to determine how much of that needs to come from marketing. I mean, you can fire all the sales guys if you want, but obviously they do their work, right? So you say, okay, how much of that contribution comes from marketing? We have determined, based on some global benchmark series decisions, to know if the company is known here, that needs to be about 20%. So 20% of that funnel needs to come from marketing activities. So we suddenly have stake. We have a stake. We are 20% responsible for the turnover for the company. So we need to get $120 million funnel. You know what? The average opportunity we find, 100K. So that leads me to, oh, basically I need 1,200 opportunities, right? But yeah, well, it would be that easy, but you know, the conversion from the SQL, the sales qualified lead, to an opportunity is 50%. So we still lose 50%, but you know, the other 50% we win. So that means I need to actually get 2,400 into the organization. If I do that, I need to have MQLs. But you know, not all MQLs go into an SQL, unfortunately. So again, I need more MQLs. I need 4,600 MQLs. And you know what? From a raw lead, then we talked about it, you know, 10% is actually converting to an MQL. So, you know, now I suddenly need 46,000 raw leads. All right, now I have everything I need to start making all my planning. I have all my data, I have all my systems, and I can start implementing it. Is that better? There you go. Just ask and I'll move, no worries. I'll just go closer to the shirt because I think you're not paying attention to the shirt. So again, that helps us to be so focused on everything we do. Every decision we make, we say, okay, will it help us to do this? If it doesn't, we shouldn't be doing it. Not because we're going to be difficult, but it's like, you know, we have always limited resources, limited time, limited budget. Let's spend the money where it really makes an effort. And again, if you want to be in the business, you need to be accountable and dependable. You know, I don't know how many people here run factories or are being involved in that. You know, a factory is run, again, like a factory, like a machine. You know exactly what your input is, what your output is, what your costs are, scrap, you know, if people are being sick, what impact it has on your productivity. And marketing, I would say up until the last couple of years, never took that responsibility because, hey, half of what we spend, we don't know what the effect is. So hey, but we just don't know what it is. Sorry. That doesn't work, right? because, I mean, we got away with it, right? But you shouldn't be getting away with that. You should be saying, okay, we need to be accountable and dependable. So what we do is implement actual operation strategies. So, I don't know, again, show of hands, who knows lean enterprise? Kinda? Kaizens. Value stream mapping. That's no. So if you look at Japanese, right? So Toyota has introduced that. So basically, what we do in our factories, but also within our marketing department, is every day we look at all these elements. So we determine a couple of key KPIs. In the factory, that might be, okay, we want to produce X million meters of cable, we want to make 2,000 connectors a day. You measure that, we measure scrap, you measure productivity, etc. We measure conversion, we measure inflow, we measure MQL. So we have determined a couple of them, and every day this team looks at that. And you might say, what the hell, every day? Yes, every day. LDM is an abbreviation for Lean Daily Management. And funny enough, the first time it takes like 3 hours. The second time, 3.5, because people are pissed and they want to let me know. The sixth time, the seventh, and now it's 5 to 10 minutes. Because the process is there, people see, okay, it actually helps us. So again, we look at living Pareto's, 5 why analysis. We have action plans in place for countermeasures. We keep it up to date. And then on the right side, you see the burning platform. If something is going completely AWOL or going wrong, it's on fire, obviously you're going to forget about your KPIs. You focus on the fire, right? That's, you know, if your house is on fire, you're not going to worry about something minute. You're going to say, well, let's get the hell out of the house, right? So how do we do that? Again, mathematically driven by data, and that's the beauty of the digitalization. We have that data 24/7 available. So as an example, I don't know what this is. So we might have, let's take funnel inflow. So every day we know exactly what our funnel inflow was. And we say, okay, what did we say we wanted to do? We wanted to do 100K. Did we do 100K? No, we didn't. Okay, what's the gap? Where does the gap come from? What is it we can do tomorrow to make a difference? Is there anything we can get back to? Okay, what is that plan? So again, that's where is the gap? 5 why, what's the root cause? I'll talk about that a little bit more. And again, close the gap, short term, long term. Is it an issue which comes back every day? Right? Is it a resource issue? Is it a data issue? Or is it, well, you know, we had, again, we have 5 people doing nothing else and doing lead follow-up, right? Maybe all 4 on holiday. Right, so that day, nobody actually picked up the phone, did any follow-up work. You might say, well, you know, end of discussion, you can't do anything about it. No, that's not true. You say, okay, what's the process you need to put in place to assure that you always have 4 people on staff? Right? And what's your backup plan when a third one gets sick? Is there a backup on what you can actually do? So by being on it so strict and so on the ball all the time, you'll see and you start to notice that you start to make all those micro improvements, little by little by little by little. So as an example, 5 why example, I mean, again, that's a beautiful way of doing stuff, because too often, and again, sometimes we struggle with that as well, you always come to the conclusion that, oh, you know, we think we have the actual issue, but actually you don't, right? So this is a simple example. So let's say someone is late for work, right? So, you know, why? Eric, why are you late for work?
It was rush traffic.
Well, I think you overslept, to be honest. So so again, traffic is his excuse, right? Can we now solve it? Just say, hey, you know, screw the traffic in Frankfurt or Berlin. So his excuse is he overslept, right? So, but we're not there yet, right? Yeah, but why did you oversleep?
Probably.
By the way, you didn't go. If you have traffic, you didn't leave early enough. By the way, that's the answer. But
so, because I overslept, right?
Well, again, you overslept. No, because your alarm clock didn't ring. It didn't ring. But again, now you have the blame. I blame the alarm clock. Yeah, stupid alarm clock. But you're not there yet, right? What can you do? Well, I can't, in a management position, say, hey, you know, damn alarm clock. That doesn't work, right? So why? Why didn't alarm clock go off? The answer's there, by the way. Simple, right? In this, again, you can say, well, I didn't put it on. Yeah, I know, okay. But let's assume the battery is dead, right? So now we have a cause, but still we're not there. So why is the battery dead? Well, you don't have a process, you don't have a schedule in place to recharge, to put batteries change in there. So suddenly we come to a root cause. We come to something where we can say, this is something we can do something about as a company, as a professional. Let's put a process in place that every week we're going to change all the batteries. And it's a beautiful trick. You can do this exactly the other way around. Oh, so if I would put the batteries in, then the battery will never go dead. Well, no, if I have a schedule in place, the battery will never go dead. Basically, the alarm clock will never fail to ring. Then I won't oversleep and I will always be on time. Tomorrow you're going to be overtime, you're going to oversleep again. Do the same analysis. Did you follow process? Or is another excuse, traffic? And then you come to a different answer. And if you do that consistently, day in, day out, you're going to get some good results. If you do that, you can start do trickle-down planning. So again, you're going to look at historical data, and you have to take into account seasonality. Who of you goes to Hannover Messe and SPS IPC drives? There you go. What is going to happen when you go to those shows? Your leads going up or going down? In our case, they go up, right? Do you typically get good leads? Yeah, typically you get. So you will see that from a seasonality point of view, I know for sure that in December, a couple of days after the show, I'm going to have a big spike when it comes to SPS. I know exactly how much we're going to get from it. I can have a good forecast. And funny enough, if the forecast is much higher, I can say, hey, why is that? Do a 5-why analysis. Did we do something brilliant or we're just lucky? If it's lower, did we do something crap or we're just unlucky? Again, you start looking at that. So again, you're going to know your run rate, what comes in if you just do the way you think the things you do. And again, the beauty of it is we just talked about it, you're going to do process updates continuously. Every day of the week, we say, okay, what can we get from process updates? So be more effective, to be more lean, to be more smarter with the resources we have. And if you do that, you'll see that just by looking at process, you will gain. And then, of course, like every company, you're going to say, well, we're going to have initiatives. Let's have an inbound campaign. Let's have an exhibition extra or whatever it is. You're going to have initiatives. And you're going to calculate upfront what's the input for those. And then that's my yearly schedule. I have a demand generation process. I know exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to split it out between all the different fractions and say, okay, you focus on this, you focus on that, etc. And every day we're going to look how much you get out of it. So, key takeaways. Oh, that's perfect timing. I'm almost half German, right? Pünktlich. So you need to think like sales. I can't think like marketing. Because at the end of the day, it's sales who is, the feet on the street, they make the difference. You have to think the other way around. Don't think from this, no, what do I actually need? If I know what I need this month, I can start calculating back, what do I need to do today to get it? Think LDM, again, lean daily management. Dr. Oliveira knows you need to do that. Every single day, think of, what can I do better and more improving? Be agile, scrumming and all those fancy words, right? Think data. Don't do it because you think it is. If someone comes, where's the data to prove it? Average value is lower, okay, show it. Where? Which lead? Which conversion? Which source? Why is it? Give me the data. And again, you have digital systems which help you with that. Think agile, and you have to think as a business does, right? And I think if you do that, you should be able to go to the moon. Thank you.